up, family?
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel.
What's up?
Today we are going to talk to you about how we met. A lot of people ask us, how did you guys meet? So
you
can start the story.
I'm joking. All right, so goes back to 2015.
No, 2014.
Oh.
Wait, 2014.
That was my ex. I'm sorry.
What?
Oh! No, I'm kidding. Goes back to 2014.
Wait, I hit you hard. I'm sorry, I never hit you.
It's okay.
Okay, let's start first.
So it started back in 2014. We were both in college. We were at Florida Atlantic University in Boca Raton. Okay, FYI, expensive down there to live.
Yes.
So I was a young bachelor, and I always saw this nice, beautiful Puerto Rican walk around with her chin up, you know, thinking she ran the school. And I was like, man, she is fine. And I was like, you know what? I don't have a chance with her. Well, I was a community service officer down in Boca, so what that meant was, you know, I would handle traffic crashes and help people, you know, with their vehicles, things like that, and I worked for the police department. Well, one night I'm working, I see Jamali at the front desk. She was an RA at the college, so I walk up one night with my partner, and first thing she asked me, first thing that comes out of this girl's mouth is, how much money do you make? Now, some of you will say, that should have been a red flag. Big old red flag. Well, she asked how much money I made. Of course, like a dummy, I told her. And mind you, this is the first time I ever talked to her. So, you know, we're talking, you know, we're getting to know each other a little bit. Well, she has to run upstairs. Me and my partner leave. We come back like an hour or two later. And her friend that she was sitting with, he says, hey, that girl you were talking to, Jamali, she wanted to give you her number before you left. And I was like, what? I said, all right, I knew it. You know, my looks, they got her. Anyway, so he gives me her number, and what happened from there, right?
So, first of all, he says he always saw me around. I never saw him around campus, but he says he did. And apparently we lived in the same dorm, but opposite towers. But he says he saw me. I never saw him. So when I met him that night, I thought he was cute. So I had told my friend, which is who he's talking about, I was like, he is so cute. And he's like, ooh, girl. And like, he's trying to get me excited about him. And I'm like, and so I had to ask Rufino how much he makes because I was curious, you know, as a poor college student, you want to know what someone else for the school is making versus what you're making. So that was kind of the question, but he always tells people that story and makes me sound like a gold digger, but I'm definitely not. So then the friend calls me. So I guess like the friend was trying to set us up. And I get a call after, I guess he talked to Rufino, and I get a call from my dorm because I was an RA on call. So any emergency that happened, I had to answer and go straight to the call. So he calls me and he's like, hey, there's an emergency, can you come downstairs? And I'm like, okay, and I just got out of the shower. My hair was soaking wet, and I was like, okay, I'm coming. I get dressed, I run downstairs, no makeup, super looking, and then I see Rufino, and my friend's like, and I'm like, there's no emergency? And he's like, no. And I'm like, no way! So I'm like
a nerd, I'm like,
so Rita's like smiling, and this is the same night that I had just talked to Rufino, but maybe like a little while later. I guess you did your rounds and then he came back. And like my friend was trying to hook us up. So I flew back to my room like a crazy because I'm like, I'm not talking to him with no makeup, my hair crazy, and I was like in some type of pajamas, housewear or something, thinking there was an emergency. There was no emergency, it was just him. So then after that, I guess my friend gave my number to him, but my friend had ran and chased me and was like, is it okay if I give him your number? And I was like, sure. I was like, I guess.
Okay, so I got her number and I text her. You know, you're not supposed to text her right away. You gotta wait. I text her like 2 days later, right?
Yeah, you didn't even text me the same night. I'm like, oh.
You gotta play it smooth, okay? So I text her 2 days later, and I'm like, hey, you know, what are you up to? And then she ended up texting me back.
No, you asked me about that night. You were like, oh.
I asked her about that night. She ended up telling me that she never really gave him her number. She didn't really want to talk to me. Well, me being me, you know, I won her over, you know. And I asked her, I said, have you ever been to Yard House? And she's like, no, I've never been. And I said, well, you want to do lunch there? So that was the beginning of our first date. Now to fast forward a little bit to our first date, it's summertime. It is hot. We're in my 1989 Jeep Wrangler that barely has AC. Okay, doesn't really have AC. And our first date was awesome, but it's super hot. She came out wearing a blue dress looking beautiful.
Yeah, but I didn't even want to go on that date. I had told my friend, like, what do? I don't want to, like, I don't even know if I should go. And she's like, oh, just go, you know, it's free food. And she just, like, pushed me to go. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm really into the guy. You know, I know he's cute to me, but, like, I just had a really I was very skeptical of guys in college because, you know, only want one thing kind of thing. And I was ready for a real relationship. And I wasn't getting that my freshman year. So, of course. So I ended up going on the date. I wore a dress, and then he laughed because his friend from work said something about my dress.
Well, my friend said, hey, this girl's really cute. You know, if the way a girl dresses on her first date tells you a lot about her. If she wears, you know, just regular, like, jeans and, like, nice top, you know, she's like, eh. But if she wears a dress, then that means she's really into you. Sure enough, she wore a nice dress, which is the same dress that I asked her to marry me in.
Yes. And that day he had said, the day he engaged me was like, can you wear that dress? And I'm like, sure. He's like, that's my favorite dress. And so, like, he planned it for me to wear that dress
Played it smooth.
Later on. But to go on dates, I'll wear anything, and mostly what I wear is dresses. So after that, all he saw me was dresses, because that's my go-to. But fast forward, we went on a couple dates. We kept going to dates after that. And like, I thought Rufino was pretty, like, a good gentleman. Like, I was pretty impressed with him because every time he wanted to go out with me, he wanted to go out with me during the day. So I thought it was kind of like smooth, like lunch and go out for, you know, a walk. Like, he wanted to go out and see me during the day, and I thought that was good, you know, not like a night thing.
Yeah, our first dates were, you know, lunch, and then I took her fishing. You know, I was starting to fish a little bit in college, so, you know, get to know her, Jamali. So I ended up taking her fishing, took her out, you know, with a few of my friends, and, you know, and really got to know her. So that's probably what built our relationship. It wasn't sped up. It was, you know, slow and steady, and, you know, that's what got us to the point we are at right now.
Yep, so we kept going on dates. Rufino would do, like, a lot of cute things, leave flowers in front of my dorm room. He would leave me. One time he left me a ticket, and I still have it, but I left it over there.
Somewhere over there.
He left me a ticket because I was going to show you guys, but I forgot to bring it to the video. But he brought me a ticket, and it was a citation because he was a community service officer, so he gave, like, tickets, right? Citations and stuff as part of his job. So he left me one time when I got back from, when I went to work, I saw it on my door, and I'm like, oh man, I got a citation. Like, nobody likes those in college, especially when you're broke. So I read it, and it was like, citation, and then it said other, and it says for being amazing, for being an amazing person. And then, like, he's like, P.S. you parked crooked. And, like, he just did, like, random things.
She still can't drive.
Yeah, I can. But he did some really cute stuff, like, at the beginning, and, like, still does now. But he really got me, and I'm like, oh man. So I called my mom, and I was like, I called my parents because they're very, like, they'll know if someone's for me or not, and they'll tell me. And I called my parents. I was excited. I was like, excuse me. I was like, I think I met someone. I was like, and the weird part is he's kind of like husband material. And then my mom's like, all right, we're going to meet him. So she came down that same weekend to come meet him.
I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, boy, that was quick.
Same weekend, like, that I had called my mom, it was maybe a few weeks, right, after we already had been going on dates. She came down to meet him. And after the dates, I asked my mom, like, what do you guys think about him? Like, what do you think you and Dad think about him? And I had nothing bad to say. And I was like, okay. And they had, like, lunch together?
Yeah.
You guys did lunch together. We all did lunch together. And I was like, what? You guys have nothing to say? That never happens. But yeah, it was fun, and then we kept going on dates. We dated for a year, and then Rufino popped the question.
Did I though? Because she never said yes.
Yes, I did. He keeps saying I didn't say yes, but I actually did. I was just crying, and I said yes while I was crying. But he didn't hear the firm yes, because I was crying. So till this day, he says, did you actually say yes? But I really did. But it was, we got engaged a year later, and then after dating, and then we pretty much got married about a year right after that. We got married through the courthouse first, and then we had a wedding ceremony. Maybe it was probably 9 months later, and then we invited all of our friends and family to join us for the celebration. But we already were married, but it still was like a celebration because it felt kind of like that was our day. Like it didn't feel any different for us. So anyone who's thinking of like a courthouse ceremony, and then doing a real wedding ceremony, did you feel any different? Like I didn't feel awkward because I was already married. I felt like we were still celebrating like our marriage. Like we got to actually spend it that day. But we had a lot of fun. Then we actually ended up, after we got married, we ended up moving to Florida, to Florida, of course we were in Florida, to Jacksonville. And then we lived with my parents, we saved money, and then we bought a house together. And now we're starting a family. So it's just crazy how like you can meet someone so randomly, like at a front desk, and then that person be your like soul partner, you're like your roommate, like not roommate, sorry, but that person to be like your lifelong buddy.
And the thing is too, like a lot of you have been following us on Snapchat and Instagram, and you can see the videos that we progressed. And a lot of times when I have free time at work or I'm by myself, I like to go back and play some videos about the videos that me and Jamali used to have.
Which we'll definitely have to make a YouTube video and share them. Because when we first met, we used to do a lot of vlogs, but we didn't realize we were making vlogs. But when you look back at it, we have so much videos and so much footage of us like during dates and car rides and vacations. So we really created this channel so we can also post and make videos from our other videos that we did and just kind of put them together and do different travel videos. So if you haven't yet, subscribe to our channel because we are going to be trying to continue making videos. We're also going to be making some baby videos coming up, some more baby videos.
So what to expect in the future?
I want to definitely do videos about my journey of getting free stuff. Part of if you get pregnant, there's baby registries and different websites. But a lot of women, and a lot of my friends ask me, what do you do to get this free stuff? So I'm definitely going to share that and make a video about all the different free stuff I've got. I've started collecting a lot of stuff. Rufino will open the mailbox and be like, what is all this stuff?
All right, we got more baby stuff.
More baby stuff. So I'm really into looking for deals and also looking for free stuff. But I'm really excited to see a lot of different videos. So hit that subscribe button and stay tuned, guys. Bye. Bye.